Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's just give the stream a second to let. There we go. Okay, first of all, sorry about yesterday. I wasn't feeling too well, so I decided not to stream. I had a massive headache, and I thought, let me not put headphones on for 3 hours. Since I'm doing hardcore, I figure it's probably not a good idea to try and get things done when I'm going to make a mistake, because I'm going to feel terrible if I make a mistake and lose the world over not paying attention. Oh, that's some good coffee. So what I did in between, after killing the Ender Dragon, I had about 66 levels. There was a couple of enchantments I was missing. I didn't have Feather Falling on my boots, I didn't have Aqua Affinity on my helmet, and I don't have Mending on any of them. One of them had Protection 3 on as well. I think it was the no, it was either the leggings or the boots. And then I didn't have, I still don't have Sharpness 5 on my sword, and I didn't have Efficiency 4 on my shovel, I don't think. Well, I didn't have any enchantments on my shovel. So I just spent basically the levels that I had. I was at 66. I just enchanted some of the stuff that didn't have enchantments yet. And I also enchanted a couple of books. So then now I've got what I added Unbreaking 3 to my sword, I added Feather Falling 4 to my boots, I added Aqua Affinity to the helmet, and I added the Protection to one of the leggings. Basically what it is, I enchanted level 30 books when they were decent. When they weren't decent, I took level 1 ones just to cycle them. And then when I got down to very low levels, I started to do AFK fishing again. I used that opportunity to just repair my pickaxe a little bit and my shovel that had mending. And basically what I was doing is all the stuff that I was getting, the fish I was taking up to the barrel where I can trade it with that villager. And the fishing rods I was disenchanting and throwing away. The bows I've kind of kept. One of the things I didn't have on my bow was Infinity. So I just added that to the existing bow that I was using. And I kept a couple of bows here. These two are kind of, this is Power 4 and Mending. And this one has Punch 2, Unbreaking 3, and Power 4. So these, I haven't combined these. This is how I got them. So they'll have, if I combine these two, I'll only have to do one combination. And then I'll have basically a bow that I like with Mending. If I want one with Mending instead of Infinity, I don't know if I'll end up using it. The thing is just sometimes the Infinity ones start to get quite expensive to repair if you keep using them for too long. And then I just had enough left on these Power 4, Unbreaking 3, Flame. So this is another bow that I can make up without Mending or Infinity, so I can pick which one I want. And I just kept a Flame on its own, so if I want a bow with Flame, I can use it. I tend not to like Flame because what happens a lot of the time is when you're fighting, let's say, a zombie, and you're shooting them and they get lit on fire and then they come and hit you, then you end up burning and taking fire damage. So I like to have just Punch 2 and Power, so that way if you're trying to use your bow on things that are walking towards you, you keep knocking them back and that keeps you fairly safe. But then for things like the Ender Dragon or creepers or anything far away, where it doesn't matter as much. Wow, he really wants to go there. He just wants to be friends with the cows. This is actually the second time that I came here before and the door was broken down. This zombie pigman is coming all the way from my portal over here. That's some pretty decent pathfinding. He came all the way from here. He can't come up here, so he had to go around, come up here. He can't go over here either, because this is too high. So he had to go all the way down here, through the water, walk this way, come up the stairs, and break the door down. That's pretty intense. And where did he end up in there? He's obviously more pig than zombie. You want to be with the cows? I'm sure it's pretty smelly, but you can stay there if you want. So long as he doesn't decide to be more zombie than pig and come for my villagers. So here we go, that we got that done. One of the key things I wanted was looting on my sword and feather falling on my boots, because at some point I want to go to the end city. Get an elytra and get some shulkers. Just to make things a little bit easier when we're building farms and stuff like that. So the next kind of goals that we have, there's a couple of small advancements that we can still do. I'm not too worried about them because they go really quick at the end. You know, we're going to get to a point where we have to do that final all effects advancement, and the ones to like eat all the foods and go to all the places, which will take a while. But even with all those done, the waiting for the thunderstorm to hit a villager with a channeling trident, we're just going to be waiting for that. So while we're waiting for that, right at the end, we can fill out all these like lower risk ones. So I'm not too worried about that. The ones that I kind of want to clear out is the things that is risky. So there's a couple of things that, you know, have some inherent risk. So taming and breeding animals is not. Eating everything is fine. I mean, you shouldn't be doing these when your health is low or anything anyway. That's just a hoe. So by my estimation, there's a couple of things that are risky, and we should either be doing those or working towards like preparing to do them as safely as possible. So this is, well, not this one. There's one after this that's hidden. That's not every potion effect, but every effect. Summoning the Wither and fighting the Wither would be risky, but there's a way to do it that involves no risk, so I'm not counting that as one of them. Traveling in the Nether actually has a little bit of risk because, you know, until you've built the pathway and you know that it's safe, you know, something can go wrong. A ghast can blow you off a ledge into lava or something, you know. You can mitigate that by having potions of fire resist and a bunch of other things, but there's some inherent risk there. Rescuing the ghast is one it's kind of weird. It's slightly risky. It's not very, but it requires a lot of preparation. So, because we have to prepare a spot for the ghast to spawn, we have to prepare a mechanism to capture him and get him to the portal and to get him to go through. I kind of have an idea for that, but I would say I would test it in a creative world first to make sure it works, but I think I'm just gonna, I'll try it in this playthrough just straight ahead. Then there's some of these, so obviously fighting the Ender Dragon again, there's always a little bit of risk in that fight, but it should be less risky than it was doing it the first time. You know, especially now that we have feather falling, we have infinity, we have a whole bunch of that stuff that makes it a little bit easier. For the most part, with the gear that we have, going to the end cities and getting shulkers and all that shouldn't be risky. The one that I do find a little bit risky is the floating one, because you know, falling 50 blocks can kill you, and you know, there's a reason why before I did this, I got the elytra, because once you have the elytra, you know, you can just go up, and if it runs out before you hit the achievement, then you just extend your wings, and you shouldn't fall to your death. There could be lag, there could be a whole bunch of things that makes that not work and kill you, but it should be moderately safe, but there is some inherent risk in that. So these things I don't find so risky. Going to the end islands and going to the city is not risky, but there's that one 50 blocks of levitation that is. Now there's a way to make that a little bit less risky. If you have a shulker at the top of one of the buildings and it's a fairly high one, you can get hit by the shulker, throw an ender pearl to the ground, and I think I've heard that counts as 50 blocks of vertical change. So the description says 50 blocks of vertical change. Now I think that what it does is it counts it as you moving to where the ender pearl lands. So it counts it as you start up here and you move 50 blocks down. So I think that'll work. We might try that just to figure out if that works or not. Curing zombie villager isn't hard. We just have to get a zombie nearby our house, cover him up, and trap him in. And that's the last one here. In the nether, these will all do. This last one will be the last one that we do, so I'm not too worried about clearing out the nether. But I think we can clear the end. I think if we do the end cities... If we do the end cities... and we refight the ender dragon, I won't necessarily do these in a row, and then we could clear out the end, and then we don't have to worry about this tab. The biggest tab is this adventure one. This one has the a lot of the things that takes long. Killing every monster, getting every biome, the striking a villager thing where you have to wait for the storm. So for this, we don't have to do too much. We have to find a pillager outpost, or do a raid. I'm pretty sure if we have we can craft a crossbow, so we don't have to get one from a pillager. But to kill a pillager, we have to either go to a pillager outpost, have them spawn nearby, or do a raid. Now, I kind of don't want to do the raid. We have to do the raid at least twice, because we have to do it once to get Hero of the Village, and then again to get the Bad Omen for the final advancement. But we have to get a Totem of Undying somewhere in between, so that we can use it to escape death. And that should be fairly easy. We should be able to just jump from a high place with the totem in our hand, and that should trigger it. But we definitely have to kill all the enemy types. So I think the easiest way to get the Ravager, the Evoker, the Pillager, and it's the guy with the axe, is to do a raid, because then you will get all of them. We've killed all the regular mobs, the witches, the creepers, the skeletons, and the zombies, and the spiders. I made sure to kill not an endermite, a silverfish in the stronghold before I destroyed the spawner. So we've done that. We've killed a phantom back in the early days, like in the first episode or two, where we got stuck without a bed and we had to fight phantoms every night. So we've done all of those, but we have to do... we've also done Enderman. So we just have to do, I think, all the villager mobs. And I think we're missing Endermite. And... I think this only counts hostile, so we don't have to worry about killing every type of passive mob or anything like that. So the things that we have to prep for is we have to bring the ghast into the overworld, which requires prep. We have to make a drowned farm or something to get a trident, or we have to just go around the ocean for a long time until we get one. I think we should only need one. Because once we get them, we can disenchant it, we can enchant it, or we can use books if we need to, so we don't have to like find the right type of trident. But we have to get one, and it's quite a low drop rate if you're just killing drowns for it. And then the phantoms we can do, the crossbow we can do this anytime basically. We just have to make craft the crossbow if we do that. But if we find a pillager outpost, they drop so many crossbows, it's easier to just kill one, grab his crossbow, and then enchant it with the ones that we need. Well, the prep that we need to do for that is, there's actually another one. It's not listed here, I don't think. I think it comes after this, but it's a hidden one, to kill 5 unique mobs with 1 crossbow bolt. And so for that, we're going to need piercing 4 on the crossbow. Now we might as well, if we've got piercing on this crossbow to kill 2 phantoms, we might as well put piercing 4 on it and try to use the same crossbow for killing all 5. So these things are relatively easy. Iron golems is pretty straightforward. What we'll probably end up doing is making... I'm actually trying to think if I'm going to need a gold farm. I'm going to need either an iron farm, a gold farm, or infinite trades with a villager to get a full beacon, because I don't think I'm going to mine to get the full beacon, because I actually want to do 3 or 4 full beacons for that final one, because I want to drink fewer potions. I'm not rushing it, so if I have a passive way to generate full blocks, by the time I get around to doing that, I should have enough for 4 beacons anyway. Because if you build the beacons in a way where it's rather than have like a full beacon here and then another full beacon here, which both take the full number of blocks, you can put a full beacon here and just extend it a little bit so that there's an extra spot, and then that one also counts as a full beacon, and you can do that 3 times so that you have 4 full beacons, but you only use about the resources that you would for like 2 full beacons. So that's, I think, what we'll do. And then so an iron farm will work for that, or a gold farm, or anything. So that's the prep that we have to do for that, and then obviously iron golem is going to be easy. If we need to make a gold farm in the nether, iron golem, we'll need those to draw the magma cubes away. We might even just make a few when we're doing the raid to help out. So the only thing we really need to prep for is bringing the ghast in, a drowned farm for the to try and get the trident. Now, a drowned farm will give us gold, but probably not enough to be our source of gold, because you'd have to kill them with looting to get the gold, and we'd have to funnel them basically in order for that to work. So we probably won't rely on the drowned farm for the gold, but we will need it for the trident. So that needs some prep. This needs a little bit of prep, just getting the enchantments that we need. This also needs some prep because we need I think that we need loyalty 3 and channeling on that trident. So I think we've got loyalty 3 here, but I don't think, oh sorry, we've got a clear loyalty 3 here, but we don't have channeling yet, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. I'll still carry on AFK fishing in between, and we should get it eventually. So I think as soon as we've got the loyalty and the 3 and the channeling for the trident, we'll start working on the drowned farm. One thing that's tricky about it is I know that I don't think they don't spawn above a certain Y level in ocean biomes, only in rivers. So we won't be able to make it here. So even though we've got plenty of ocean around us, that's all ocean here. So this is all ocean, but that we can't make a drowned farm like right here, because they're not going to spawn up here. They'll only spawn like, I think, down at the bottom of the ocean. So we'll have to go to one of the continents. We'll have to go over there, find a river, and then build a drowned farm there. Which is an option, but just because it's not close by, I kind of don't want to prioritize it for right now. So we can do that once we have those enchantments. And none of these really need prep. Fighting the Ender Dragon again doesn't really need prep because we've kind of done it once. We can get in. Basically, we need to get an Elytra and then we can do it again. We could do it again now, but I think it's going to be easier to get you to have an Elytra and use that than to do the potions and everything, because it's riskier with the potions. The potion can wear out and then you can get hit and land before you take another one, stuff like that. Whereas with the Elytra, you don't have to worry about the timing. All you have to know is be aware of when you get hit by the dragon. And probably something that we'll do to make this a little bit easier is level out some of the area because it's not very level. We ended up with a spawn with quite high obsidian towers, which makes it tricky to get the end crystals on 2 or 3 of the towers. So that's also something to consider. But if we have an elytra, you know, we might just use the elytra, fly up and shoot out the end crystals. So for these are pretty straightforward. With the skeleton skulls, so we've killed the ender dragon, so we can fairly easily kill the wither and get a beacon. I'm just trying to think that we don't really have a project that we need a beacon for right now. So that's why I don't want to do this right now, because then I'll get the beacon and there's not much to it. For most of these, it's just traveling around. So we have to find all the animals. So I probably won't like bring them back and breed them. I'll just try and find them in the wild if I can and breed them. Cat variants, we just need to take a whole bunch of fish, which we have from fishing, and go to all the villages. So for that, we just need elytra and rockets. This, we just have to find all the food, which I just need to make a list, get 2 double chests and fill them up. Once I have everything, I'll eat all of it. Taming an animal, the easiest is just find a horse or whatever. I've been keeping 1 saddle. I've been throwing most of them away, but I'm keeping 1 so that when I want to, I can go tame a horse and try and bring him back. Although over water, that's not really that useful. So I might have to bring him through a nether portal or something. So I might actually just tame him there, find horses, tame 1, and then breed 2 of them, and then leave horses from there. So I think the next thing to do is probably the end cities. It seems like the thing that we have everything that we need to do, and it'll unlock the most options for us to do next. So I'm going to take a regen potion just in case. We also need to find ideally 2 end cities, because we're going to need to bring a shulker back. So usually what happens is the first end city that you find is the closest one, and if you clear it out, then you have to go further for the shulker. So what we'll probably do is I'll try and clear out most of the shulkers, but not all of them. Preferably I'll leave 1 somewhere near the top, because I want to use the one at the top to get that advancement. So let's see what we need. We've got all our armor. We've got infinity, so let me just make sure that I have 1 arrow. There we go, 1 arrow. That was quite something that held us back the whole time, as we kept having to get more arrows from the mob farm. And what else? We need a bunch of blocks, but I think I'm going to level out some of the island. Well, actually, what I'll do is let me take a trapdoor. If I take a trapdoor, then I won't have to use the ender pearl to go through the end island gateway. And what else have we got? Yeah, nothing that we need. Okay. So this, while we're doing all of that, this should have finished. So just gonna harvest the crops quickly. Because this is actually something that we'll have to do to get more. Yeah, there was a... Oh. How am I gonna... I don't actually think I can jump on. Two stacks of carrot and 2 stacks of potatoes. This was a wandering trader that ran all over this and messed it up. Okay. So I want to plant more carrots than potatoes. And that's mainly because we have a better better carrot trade than a potato trade. Although I think I worked out that because the trapdoors are in the middle, and there's an even number of rows, the one that I start planting first, actually I end up with less of. So I'm actually doing it the wrong way around, because you see, it's an even number of rows, so I'm planting the same number of rows of both, except the one that ends up being in the middle in all 3 of them is the one that I start with, so I should have actually done it the other way around. But that's a marginal difference, it's 3 less. Hey Nitro, how's it going? Oh, I knew that was gonna happen. I think that was carrots. Yeah, I started a little while ago, but I was running through all the stuff, so I'm about to head out. I think what I'll... Ooh, how am I gonna... I think I'm going to go to the end cities to try and find elytra and some, well, I don't really need the gear. I'm pretty much geared up the way I want, but I want to clear one of them out, find them, get the elytra so we can, yeah, hopefully get that ready for refighting the dragon. And yeah, I think that's actually probably the next thing to do. I want to kind of clear out the end section so I don't have to worry about it. We will have to do something else in the end afterwards, though. We have to bring a shulker back for the how did we get here advancement. I hear it, but I don't see it. Oh, there. I have to try and remember. It was this way. If I remember correctly, it was over here. Yeah, that one is not very straightforward. What I'm thinking of doing is I'm gonna first fight the dragon again, so that I'm kind of sure that I'm done with that area, if I can call it that, and then, you know, then I can start laying track or whatever I need to do to get the shulker there. This way. I ended up making this whole roundabout way to get here, but at least with the signposts I can kind of find my way, even though I kind of forgot how it is. I actually went around this whole thing and I decided to just dig a hole through the netherrack and make it shorter. Yeah, I can't remember who I watched do it as well. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I saw a bit of the work that they did to get the shulker to go into the portal, and yeah, it was quite a bit of work. There's a portal somewhere here, but I have to go. It's not in there, it's through here. It's down here, there we go. Now I believe there's a ghast here. Or is he not going to see me from where he is? Okay, no, he's not going to see me. Okay. No, I didn't actually bring any fireworks. I think what I'll basically only need them to get down. I'll just run back, I think. Why did I bring this? I did not need to bring this with me. I'm gonna put it in here, just so I don't accidentally throw it away. I don't want to waste any more diamonds on making another one of those. I try to keep my spaces like as free as possible, so that all the loot that I do get, I can bring back. Yeah, so like I said, I wanna fight the dragon again. So I wanna get the elytra and fight the dragon again, so that I can start using this area here for killing withers. So let's just see. Okay, so there is this little area that's a little higher, so I want to get rid of it anyway for when I fight the dragon again. Because I kept having to jump up on this to run around. And for some reason, like, I don't know, if it doesn't... The pillars aren't always this tall. But I struggled with some of them. Sometimes when the obsidian pillar is really tall, it's hard to get the end crystal, because when you shoot high enough to not hit the pillar, it goes over. And if you move further away so that the angle is lower, then you can't reach. So I've noticed that's a bit of a luck thing, because I've had other spawns in my previous world. Almost all the pillars were low. They were like that one where you could just run up to it and shoot up. Especially the ones with the iron bars. Feather? You mean... Oh, feather falling. Yes, yeah, we got feather falling from a book, I think. I added that. And I also added Aqua Infinity. Aqua Infinity was missing on my helmet, so we kind of have everything now except mending. So we just need to put mending on all four. But we have the mending villager, so what I'll probably just do is I'll keep trading crops and sugarcane. And every time I have enough, I'll just add mending to one more thing. I've actually got levels to do enchanting or to add things. So I should be able to do it. But right now, nothing is really low. I think probably my sword will be the next thing that I put mending on. But even that is not that low. I mean, I'll probably use it a bit now, killing shulkers. And then after that, I'll probably need mending for it. But I'm starting to get a little bit nervous, because this is kind of where I was in my previous world. I had basically everything that I have now, except I had a elytra and I had about 8 shulker boxes. And that's kind of where I got complacent. I thought like, okay, you know, now I've got proper gear. I'm as safe as I'm ever gonna be. I shouldn't have to worry anymore. And that's when I got lazy and the Enderman got me. So I'm kind of keeping it in the back of my mind that like once I get all this gear now, I must remember, especially when I have my elytra on, you know, my protection level is low, everything is dangerous, I should still keep my health up, play it safe. Yeah, I think there's for some reason when you fight the Ender Dragon, you tend to worry about looking at Enderman, but when you do other stuff, you don't. I think that's just what happened. I wasn't sure why the Enderman was attacking me. I didn't realize that I had looked at them. So this should actually give me. I just want to have some blocks on me anyway, because I want to build a pathway out to there. I'll have to clear more of this out later, but for now I'll just use this to get a pathway. Because we're probably going to end up having to... I wonder if I should kill some Endermen to get some Ender Pearls. I don't like to throw Ender Pearls because sometimes you miss and then... Yeah. I don't mean you miss and throw into the void, although like you can do that, but it won't teleport you to the void. What tends to happen is you miss the platform and hit the side, and then you fall off, and that's the end. Yeah, I mean they can be useful for when you need to like move around and stuff, but I think what I'll do is I'll go through and kill some Endermen on the other side because I'm worried that there's quite a few of them here because it's such a small area. Oh, I'm one over, am I not? Yeah, that's fine. We can just carry on this way. And then I'll make it wider anyway. I think we should make it to there. Oops. Yes. Okay, I almost thought I was out by one again. Is this... Yeah, this is this level. It's because I'm crouching that it looks funny. But I'm not going to stop crouching. Okay, so that should... And if the end city through this portal is quite close, this might be the one that I use to bring the Shulker. But if it's quite far and we kill the dragon a second time... Yeah, I don't know why I did that, but luckily it wasn't too high. This is why getting feather falling is so important. Like, without feather falling, even that short little drop would have made me nervous. Move, Enderman. I can't build there. Okay, perfect. And then let's grab our... no, that's not where I need it to be. I need it to be... I have to try and remember how this goes. Is it... Yeah. Okay, let's see what we... It looks like a fairly big one. I think those might be connected. Let me just build a... I think I'm just going to do it from here. Just want to leave the trapdoor here so I can get back through. Should actually have made a passage around it as well. Probably don't need to hold shift here, but Skyblock habits die hard. And then... Okay. I don't think I'll need trapdoors for anything else, but... Okay, so let's see what we have. Let me, just for safety's sake, -1,1. Oh, this is like 0. So it's -1,100. This is really all that we need. Take a screenshot of that in case I need it. So we're at -1,100 and 0 here. And let's just... So I like to make a path anyway, because if I go from one island to the other, I want to be able to backtrack. So you making a path is better than ender pearling, because then you have to remember where you came from. Oh no, do you know what I needed? I needed sharpness. I really need sharpness on this sword. I have no sharpness whatsoever. I've got a sharpness 3 book, because that was way too many shots for that enderman. And if I'm dealing with shulkers, I really need to kill them fast. So I'm gonna go back. I'm actually gonna go back to my base. At least put sharpness 3 on this, because that is something that is gonna cause a problem. It's straight across, I think. I actually even mentioned it earlier in the stream that I wanted sharpness on this thing. Where's the hole where this comes out? Somewhere here. Oh, there it is. Oh, why am I going there? Can't go back that way. At least that's going to put us back at our base, but then we'll have to run through the nether again. I actually probably have enough stuff that I can... Yeah. I'll actually probably put mending on the sword as well. Just because thinking about it now, there is actually... I am probably going to use it quite a bit. And we should have enough emeralds to do one more mending. Especially if I take this sugarcane as well. I see that creeper. And he sees me. We already did the zombie sniper, the skeleton sniper thing. So we don't have to worry about that too much. So let's take that, and might as well take all of this. Why not? And we might even get two books out of it, so let's just see what we get. Let's do the farmer. So I should really infect and cure these guys so I can get much better deals from them, but I'll probably do that later. And then we need paper. That should give me some more. Okay, 33 should give us 1. That should be fine, we just need 1 for now. We might actually have some more paper in here. Oh yeah, we do, but that's fine. It's not going to give us another book, so I'll leave that for next time. And then we can take the sword. Oh, and let's take the sharpness book as well. So it's only, I think I only have sharpness 3 here. Let's see if I have, there's another sharpness 3 though. So I can combine these and put sharpness 4 on, but I don't think I have a, oh there's another sharpness 3. But there's a sharpness 3 and looting 2, so if I combine them it's going to try and put looting 3 on it. There's Silk Touch and Sharpness 3, but I might need the Silk Touch for something, so I'm going to leave that. I haven't been getting any Sharpness 4. So I think what I'll do is, Sharpness is the only thing here that'll affect it anyway, so I'll add those together. Yeah, that's true. I might get something with mending on it, and then I can either switch to using that or just combine it with what I have. So that's sharpness 3, and this should make it sharpness 4. And will we have enough to add mending? Actually I want sharpness 5, but no. 17 levels? Really? That's because we added those 2 separately. Okay, it's also repairing it, so we might need more levels if we use it more, because that tends to happen. So I'll go to mob farm and just grab a couple of levels. That's probably going to be the quickest way to get it. And I still haven't put a anvil or anything here. But we could also grab some enchanted stuff from here and then disenchant it on the grindstone for a couple of extra levels. Check how talented this guy is. He's climbing the ladder with a shield and stake and eating it at the same time while still climbing up the ladder. That is skills. I mean, I would even be impressed if he could like stand still on the ladder and do it, because that means he's still holding onto the ladder without any hands. I think that's a little oversight that they made. Actually, we'll probably want to, since we've got infinity bow, we don't really need arrows. Bones might be useful for bone meal if we had a nano farm or something, but I probably won't make one because I've got the flushing farm. This is still giving us string, but what I might do is just go in there and put trapdoors up so that skeletons and zombies don't spawn, and then we'll only get creepers. And that should help us get gunpowder fairly quickly when we need it. We can also just add some trapdoors just to make more creepers spawn, but not only creepers. But I don't know if we quite need that yet. I can actually... this is mending, right? So this is actually going to slow the XP gain down, but it's going to repair the pickaxe, so I think it's worth it. None of my armor is mending yet, so that's not slowing it down. I'm trying to figure out if being down here makes them spawn faster, but it's hard because you don't see when they spawn, you only see when they drop. And going here and having them drop doesn't actually mean they're spawning faster, it just means they drop at that time. So we need 18 levels, I think. That's my guess. I guess we could have just gone with the sharpness and not the mending, but I guess since we're doing it now, might as well get it out the way. Yeah, so that's the thing. Once you don't need a mob farm to be an XP farm, you can make it much more compact and have it basically run constantly. So if I didn't need this as an XP farm, I primarily made this for XP. If I didn't need it for XP, I would have put it lower and closer to my base so that it would run while I was in there, and I would just let it drop on magma blocks and collect the drops, and you would have more of all these drops than you know what to do. In fact, in that case, I would have probably had to put a filtering system with a dispenser that pops it out into lava, so that once it gets full, it just gets rid of the excess. Yeah, there's a couple of really good ones. Like if you take into account that, like, okay, you can use magma blocks or whatever, right? Because that doesn't give you the player kill drops, and it but it also doesn't destroy the drops. I guess now you can even use campfires, and if you have access to iron, like obviously not an iron farm, but you have enough iron to at least make mine carts and pistons and stuff to push them into blocks, you can make it pick up the drops like instantly, like even if there's a bunch of them. You're basically only limited by the speed of the hoppers underneath. Like the rate at which the chests can fall is basically your limiting factor. But you can always have like 2 or 4 hoppers feeding out of that, so that you have multiple sets of storage. And then that's not your limiting factor anymore either. But yeah, once you get either the zombie pigman farm in the nether or enderman farm in the end, like if you get either of those as efficient versions, then there's no point in doing anything XP related with the overworld farm. Then your overworld farm should only be giving you drops. And in that case, you're probably better off making one for gunpowder, one for one for spiders, and one for whatever you want, right? Like it's better to make a witch farm that gives you the witch drops, so that when you're running low on redstone or glowstone or something, you can just go to the witch farm and just get that. Or if you need gunpowder, you just AFK at the creeper farm. Or I've also seen people convert, like once you have a creeper farm and you have 20 full double chests of gunpowder, a lot of people convert their creeper farm into a charged creeper farm, and then they use it to get wither skulls, because if a charged creeper blows up a wither skeleton, then you get 100% drop rate on the skulls. So they build a whole elaborate thing where it takes it puts the creepers in like a large open area where they're exposed to storms, and then when there's a storm, they move them out, and they keep the charged creepers in like a holding cell, and they name tag them, and then they take them through the nether portal to their wither skeleton farm, and then they set it up so that the charged creeper blows a bunch of them up, like 5 or 6 of them. So every charged creeper gives you 5 or 6 skulls. It's some ridiculous stuff that you can do. But that's obviously server multiplayer, not in hardcore. Like I wouldn't be messing around with that stuff in hardcore. Doing anything with charged creepers can go horribly wrong. Okay, 19 levels should probably be enough. Let me make it light. And then we can finish off our enchanting stuff, and then it's end time. I'm curious in the... let me put that hoe back before I forget. When they say every hostile mob, I'm assuming charged creeper is just a variant of a creeper, right? So once you've killed a creeper, the creeper is done. You don't have to do more than... you don't have to do charged creeper as well, I'm assuming. Let's see, these are terrible, so I'll get rid of them. I'm not too worried about that. This is enchanted, not enchanted. Okay, perfect. So we need to put mending on here. And so mending, sharpness 4. Okay, we still need sharpness 5, so there's one more enchantment on it. And then we have this to get rid of this gold stuff. This one is actually in good condition. Usually they're like almost broken when they drop them. This one has more than half durability. Oh. Let's put that in there, and then I kind of developed this habit of keeping the bows, because you can make dispensers with them, and I almost never end up making dispensers with them, but I still keep them for some reason. I actually took a whole bunch of arrows that I didn't need to take. Gold goes in there. And I'll leave these other 2 trapdoors for when I make the other gateway. And the bow can go into that chest. I should actually be adding some of the bows to these to fill them out. And the book can stay as well. Not sure why I grabbed the... Oh, I grabbed 2 books in case I got... Oh, I slept before I went. Okay. So I'll get the ender pearls from the end. I only have like 5 here, so I want to keep them in case I need it for something. Like in case I need more ender chests or something like that. Oopsie, that's what I need. Okay. So now at least when I'm killing Enderman or shulkers, I'll be repairing some of my sword. Oh. You know, I thought I was only going to traverse this path like 2 or 3 times, so I didn't bother to make it too easy to follow. But the number of times I'm going backwards and forwards on this thing, it might actually have been worthwhile to just plot the coordinates and just make a straight path. Because I do go this way and then back that way, so there should be a more straightforward way to get there. What? Where are you? Oops. He's so far away he's going to despawn anyway. Yeah, I normally go about a Y100. So this is at, like, we're at Y54 now. So usually Y100 is mostly in the netherrack. So there isn't too much danger there. Okay. I actually just don't want to carry the netherrack with me, that's why I'm placing it back down. I should have actually taken a bunch of this with me. I don't know if I'll need... yeah, I don't know. Should have probably taken more food as well. But it's okay. Yeah, and plus I find that you end up mainly digging through the netherrack, so nothing's exposed. Once in a while you'll hit an open area and then you have to go through it, but yeah, obviously the safest thing would be to have like a 3-high tunnel with bedrock right above you. Then you're definitely safe. Or do you just... oh yeah, right below the bedrock, yeah. You can do it right above as well, but then the problem is when you try to use the portals to go back, then it won't take you to the portal, because it won't find the portal above bedrock. Yeah, actually when I went through before, I found like 2 cities quite close, and the first one had a ship. I don't know if the second one had a ship because I never went to that one, but at first I thought it didn't, but it had one that was like a bit away. You know, kind of like an undocked one. Is he suffocating himself, or is he just angry? See, I don't know how that second one got angry at me, but okay. What? See, that one... I didn't look at him at all, he just got angry when I killed the other one. There's been kind of like a few weird things that I've noticed in Minecraft 1.14 that I'm not used to. I think those things are like, whoa, there's a lot of them. Catching me by surprise. So, let's see. I want to grab this just to have it, because I think you have to eat everything, right? So we'll need chorus fruit at some point. And then let's grab that. I don't know that I'm gonna need to plant them, but Might as well get 2 or 3 just in case. Where's the... Oh, there, 3, okay. So let me just actually, options, video settings, I don't know, my render distance is on like 16 or something. I usually do that just to make it run smoother. I'm just trying to get a shape of this, sense of the shape of the island so that I can not rely on coordinates and just kind of find my way back. In my previous world, the 2 end cities that I saw, they weren't on the island that it put me on, but they were like one little island away. So I didn't have to like remember how to get there or anything. But it looks like I'm not having that luck this time. Luckily this island is pretty close. Oh, it's technically connected. So I can still see the portal there, so I'm going to explore this way just because what I'm effectively doing is like kind of like sticking right, so that when I come back I just have to follow the left hand side. Yeah, I mean if we see 2, I don't know if I'll grab them both right at the beginning, depending on if I have the supplies. But yeah, having multiple is definitely worth it, because even if you've got unbreaking and mending on one, when it runs out, you have to stop using it. So I like to put some in my ender chest and just switch when one runs out. Then you can always repair them all together later. I'm deliberately wearing out my hunger before I eat, so that I get the most out of these steaks, because I realize now that I only have about just over half a stack. And regular hardcore is nice because food is health, right? Like you have infinite health so long as you have food. But when you do actually have a prolonged fight, like with all the shulkers and everything... What was that? Oh, I thought I dropped, but it was just lag. You find yourself running out of food much sooner than you expected. And best case scenario, you notice it and you withdraw and go back home. A worst case scenario, you don't notice it, and the next thing you know, you're effectively in ultra hardcore. Because you have no health regen. Wow, this like so... That's like quite a big island there, but I don't see anything on it. This is actually not good news if there isn't a end city nearby, because getting to it isn't the problem. The problem is going to be getting the shulker back. I really don't want to have to build rail this far out to try and bring a shulker back. Sorry, let me just move my coffee mug so I can see chat a little bit better. There we go. I've learned from Button's mistakes. I always pause properly. So this was where we got onto this island, which means, because there's the portal there, so this whole island doesn't have anything. There's a bunch of islands over there that we can go to, but trying to go to whatever's closest. So before I go onto the next island, I'm going to kind of run along the outskirts of this. It'll take longer, but it means I'll find whatever's closest. I'm also trying not to go too close to the edge, because you never know when you're going to anger an Enderman and they knock you. So that way is where the portal comes in. Okay, let's follow this along here. This looks like it's going to go around there. Just trying to look that way so that I don't run away from an end city. Looking for an end city. It's kind of annoying having to like face down but look up. So I'm just trying to look like in the distance over there, because you know, sometimes there might be a city but you just don't see it because it's dark. Sometimes you see like part of the ship or the edge of the building, but not the actual end stone bricks. And then you tend to miss it, because sometimes it looks like there, it looks like it's these chorus plants. That, I don't know, that's just darker because it's further away. Oh, that's a weird island. I don't think it connects up. And I think now we've gone around this whole island, because I see the portal over there. Oh no, this is a different one. Okay, so here's an interesting question. If I go through this portal, is it going to make the portal on the main island? Because if so, then I want to go through it now. So that I have an extra option for coming back. I guess it would have to, right? Where else would you come out? Oh, okay, it's just going to take you back there. It won't actually unlock it. Okay. Then I'm not going to. It would be convenient if when you fight the Ender Dragon again, that it will open that one. Actually, it would be quite annoying, because then you just end up on the same island, technically. Yeah, I mean, if I get lost or whatever, I won't mind going back that way if I'm not needing to get you again. But if there's like an end city right here by this, I go in through there hoping to come out here again, and then I have to find my way here again. That's not going to help. But if it made the portal, you know, you would effectively be getting a portal close to an end city without fighting the dragon, which would be nice. I mean, it's not that far anyway. The years are... I thought it was this portal, but it's... I mean, it's quite close to it. You can actually almost see it from this portal. That's kind of... It's kind of a raw deal. Okay, so it's definitely not... along the... no end cities are visible along the edges of these portals, so of this island. So now what I'm tempted to do is... I want to try and keep it simple, because when we do find an end city, we have to kind of get back. So I'm going to just go straight in this direction. I'm going to try to branch out to an island straight in this direction, so long as there is one. If there isn't one, then I'll change direction slightly. Oh, right, so that might just be one to get back, and there's no way to actually unlock a portal that'll get you there. So I usually play modded, and usually if you play modded to the point where you're going to the end and doing all this stuff, you usually have like Draconic Evolution or something which changes the mechanics enough that you don't really bother with all this. Most mod packs have some form of creative flight in it that makes Elytra not worth getting. And most of them change the end enough so that to make it more challenging, because you know, the dragon isn't that hard and there isn't that much reason to fight him over and over again. I mean, it's a nice way to jumpstart getting decently enchanted diamond gear and so on, but you can technically do that without ever getting to the end, right? You can mine for diamonds, get levels and enchant things, and you can get just as good gear, if not better. So these islands aren't connected. That one looks like it might be connected, so it might be worth... Okay, let's... Oops, come back, chat. We need you. I wonder if it's not going to be easier to just make a stairway down here and just... like around here. I don't know how deep this goes, but I don't want to like go over here if I can just make a shorter bridge over there. But I just want to make sure that I can get back up, because I don't think this is a smooth transition. I think we need one more. And with my luck there will be a hollow part here, and then we'll end up... Oh, that's fine. I'll build this up to there. Whoa, what's causing the framiness? Oh, pressing shift simulator. This always makes me nervous. I don't know if your fingers ever slipped doing this. But mine's slipped doing this at least a few times in Skyblock and stuff. So I know it happens even though you don't mean it to. I'm actually going to make it 3 wide just because. It's not that I think necessarily I'm going to fall off. I just also want to make it clearer for myself that this is a pathway that I made and not just a coincidental thing. Although I guess a single line of instant probably looks more unnatural than 3. This just takes too long to do it this way. I'm going to go this way. Okay. Like there was a slight thing, I don't know if you noticed. I let go of shift before I let go of the backwards key. That's not what you should do. Gonna place some blocks and then dig away some blocks, I think. Like that, and then... It's so strange that it gets framey when I look in this direction, even though I can't... I mean, I'm only rendering 1 block. But it's obviously rendering the stuff behind it even though it's not showing. But I wanted to set my render distance down because I'm going to need to put it up again. So I actually have to keep this clear, because if I close this off it's going to be hard to see where the staircase is. Isn't this efficiency 5? Oh, it is, but I think Silk Touch makes it slower. Yeah, if you find that your finger starts getting tired, better to stop doing it and come back to it later than to just push through it, because eventually it will get so tired that you let go. Okay. I'm actually going to mark this because I'm not going to see this from far away. So I'm just going to put it. He was messing with me there. He looked like he was coming for me. So I'm going to put that there just so I can find it again. I think that'll be visible, and I'm even going to just put a torch on it in case I need to see it from further away. Oh yeah, I don't know if I'd want to log out in the end either. That's a very valid point. If I got tired, I would probably go back to base and log out. But then if you're somewhere where you have to get back, you have to bridge to get back, then you don't have the option. You either have to carry on or log out. But if you, I mean, again, if you're not in a hardcore world, you're only going to lose your stuff, so it's not so bad. That's a pretty big island as well, but I don't see anything on it. I think these are the islands that we saw from the other side. So the render distance is quite far, but with the fog, you also really can't see what's on there. So we came from that side. That's the islands we saw, so we have to go either that side to those islands or further on to those ones, because they're not connected there. I'm tempted to just carry on going in this direction because this looks like a fairly big forest. Hey, he was pushing me. Now I'm trying to see if this is the level that I want to be on. Okay, here we go. I hope this is the same level that matches up with that island. And when you're working with slabs, there's also this thing where sometimes if you're doing this backwards and holding shift and you're placing slabs, it'll, if you're placing in the upper half, then it'll sometimes place it in the bottom half, and because you're holding shift, it sees that, oh, you can step down half a block, that's fine, and then it'll put you there. But then when you try to place the next one, it won't place it because you're in the way, and then you just fall. Even though you were holding shift and placing blocks, you still fall, and then you die. So even shift isn't necessarily 100%. Gonna make this a little bit wider as well. Because there aren't any Endermen on it now, but when there are later, I don't want it to be a problem. Do you play with shaders as well, Nitro, like Chaos does, or do you just play vanilla like this? Yeah, I think that's a valid thing. Like, you don't have to be in hardcore to like take it seriously. Like, you can play as if it's in hardcore, and obviously if you die, you don't have to start over. But some people tend to, like, especially in Skyblocks, you'll find some people, when they start a Skyblock and they run out of hunger and they don't have food, they just put everything in a chest and jump off, right? And then they respawn with full hunger. And it's like, well, I mean, if you're going to play like that, where you just circumvent the side effects of the hunger system, why not just turn it off? Why just get rid of food entirely? Just, you know. Yeah, I mean, I like shaders. Some of it looks quite nice, but I feel like it. I don't know. I feel like vanilla Minecraft loses some of its charm when you try to make it. You know, like some games looks good with amazing shaders, and then other games like Minecraft is basic. The simplistic visuals of it is kind of what makes you focus on the mechanics. And then when you mix the two, it kind of gets confusing for me. Like, it doesn't look realistic, because, you know, even if you put shaders on, it's like the real world isn't, you know, 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter cubes. And I mean, sometimes you get like very realistic textures and shaders together, like where you can see the texture and the dirt and the sand and stuff, but then it's like a perfect cube of sand, and it's just it just throws me off completely. Like, sand would never do that, so it almost makes more sense for me to see it like this, because the less detail doesn't make me think about like, how is this block a perfect block, right? I can't even really tell what this material is. Like, they call it end stone, but it looks kind of waxy, so I don't know if it can be this shape or not. Like, you know, I can suspend disbelief because there isn't that much detail. But then when you put all the detail back, then it starts to not make sense again. I'm trying to look at these islands without going to them, because I don't want to bridge too much. But if there's an city there, I will. There's one in the distance. Trying to see if there's any over there. So it's more or less straight. So we went straight over and then straight over, and if we go straight through this, we'll end up there. Just want to run and see if I can see anything else along the edges. But that means that density should be close to 0 on one of the axes. Actually, one of the things about playing the shaders is it's not straightforward to get running. Like, I'm not talking about having a beefy computer that can run the shaders or whatever. Even if you do, like, you know, you have to you know, set up Optifine and have a separate profile, and then get the shaders and everything in there. And a lot of the times the shaders don't work very well in their like default settings. You have to like tweak some stuff just to have it not look super vibrant or ultra light. Is that not on this island? I think over there is where the bridge is. So can I run around to get there? Because that's semi-connected there. But I'd rather just run straight to it. But if... Oh, here's another return thing. Okay, so this side isn't connected, but it might be here. I can't see one yet, but it's possible that there's one on the other side of that building. If it's... Because that doesn't connect to the ground. This one's on the ground. There might be an arm going that way, and then there might be a ship. But honestly, even if there isn't a ship, I might... Does this make light? Doesn't it look like this makes light? I don't know if you can see it on your... But it definitely looks like this portal makes light. So I'm looking for the bridges so that I can keep my bearings. There's the lights from our bridge, so it's straight across. We hit this portal. So we have an easy way back. Well, easier than running all the way back. But we'll still have to get here the normal way. I mean, unless I see another entity nearby that I can see has a ship, I'll probably go into that one. Okay, at least it's connected, so we don't have to bridge more. I never actually noticed that they make light because I don't really care about lighting the nether up, right? I mean the end, because things pretty much spawn either way. I mean, you're not going to light everything up. I mean, there's a reason for lighting up the area, the main island. But there aren't any of those. Well, I guess there are those portals there, so I probably should have noticed it before. Okay, I'm not seeing anything else, but I also haven't seen a ship yet. I actually wonder if this is far enough that I should maybe put the torches down to make a path back to that. So I don't want to kill all the shulkers, but I definitely don't want to be bombarded by them, so... There's no ship, so maybe we leave this one and we come get the shulker from here when we need the shulker. And we keep on looking. There's another portal over there though. Yeah, there's some shulkers down here, so I'm tempted to leave them here and use them, because I know some people have killed a couple of shulkers trying to get them back, and if we end up killing 3 or 4 shulkers trying to get it done, we don't want to run out of shulkers in this end city. What I might do is, just for progress, since we've technically found an end city, I'm just going to run into it to get the advancement. Like that. But I don't want them to hit me. I wonder... Ooh. Ooh. This one's still coming. Okay. I wonder if there's enough shulkers to consistently hit me until I go up 50 blocks. I've got a water bucket, because if I do that now before I kill any of the shulkers, that means I have the highest chance of them continuously hitting me. I can pop down a water bucket in the middle there so that I can, if I fall, I'll fall into it. And I have feather falling, but that's not going to matter if I fall 50 blocks. But what I'm thinking is I can try and ender pearl. No, you know what? I can do it now, but it'll be more risky than doing it later, so I'm going to do it later. Oh, that's the my phone telling me to go to bed. Like that's going to happen. Yeah, I'm trying to, like, so I mean, getting the advancement now, or even getting the elytra now, there's no reason for me to have to do it now. I'm just doing it to get it out of the way. And if doing something now makes something later harder, I'd rather make the thing later easier. So I think we look for in city with a ship, because the elytra is gonna make a couple of things easier, but I do want to have easy access to that end city for the shulkers. So I've got the I kind of know the route to get there. It's pretty much straight, and I've left some torches going there, so I think it'll be fine for me to find it again. One thing that's sometimes nice is when you clear the end city, you get to the top, you can see quite far, and you can usually see another end city. So you often end up looking for end city. When you eventually find one, you go up and you see, oh, there were 2 other end cities within reach. But I mean, there's only so far that I can go anyway, so I'll just follow this island and see where it gets me. We saw another portal on that side, so we're kind of heading out towards that way, because if I find an end city there, I'll probably just go back through that portal rather than go all the way back. Because I think we're far away off now that it doesn't make sense to run all the way back. I want to head over to that side, but if I'm staying consistent, so it's actually that we're at 116, so about 100 blocks that way is where the portal came in. We've gradually been moving this way to find the easier spots to cross. Yeah, I think that's probably the easiest way to do it, because there's usually a whole bunch of them on the inside, and so as you go up, they're always hitting you. The only problem with doing it that way, where they're hitting you, is you have to keep healing because you take damage. Now in ultra hardcore, that doesn't work so well, because you know, you can't consistently heal unless you have a ton of golden apples. So technically I want to go straight over here, but I want to get to that island, but I'm thinking rather than bridge that way, I want to bridge to there and then try and bridge over to there or to there, whichever one's closer. But I just realized that I don't have too much blocks left, so I'm gonna have to like strip most of this layer off here. So I actually need to take enough blocks to make the next bridge as well. I wonder if maybe before I go that way, we are on this island now, maybe we should just run around it and see. There is a portal there, but there isn't necessarily an end city there, so see, when I see islands like that, it sometimes looks like a building, but it's not. Kind of getting tired of bridging, so I want to see if I can. We didn't technically look at this side, so there's a chance. That's an island. It's a little bit annoying because like to stream I have to I play at 1080p, but I've got like not a 4K monitor, but I've got like a super ultra wide. So I'm actually playing in a smaller window in the center of the screen so that I can see chat and Streamlabs and everything, and so things are much smaller than I'm used to. So normally I would probably be able to make out what's over there, but I can't really do it here because it's so small. And I also don't really play with Optifine. I know a lot of people play with Optifine for the performance, and then they start to use the zoom. But I kind of feel like for it to be a challenge, like everybody should have access to the same things. So that's why I don't do Optifine, because I don't really have a performance problem, and I feel like being able to zoom into stuff gives me a slight advantage. Also, a lot of people put the dynamic lighting on. I've noticed some people, especially the people that play in ultra hardcore, tend to put dynamic lighting on, and then they carry a torch. So they just hold the torch like this. They don't place any torches when they go through a cave or while they're mining, right? They just hold it. And that lights it up enough that they can see that they don't have to dig. But normally you would have to place those torches down for them to make light, right? And if you have to place them down to get light, you wouldn't place them down and pick them back up. You would place them down and leave them, which means you go through torches much quicker. And so already I feel like that makes a difference to how you play the game, right? It's not a major difference, but it is a difference. So if I put Optifine on for performance, I would probably disable the zoom key and turn dynamic lighting off. But again, for me, it's just easier to not have Optifine because, like I said, I don't have a performance issue. Other people just use it for shaders, right? So they have Optifine because they want shaders, which is fine. If you're used to playing with shaders, you're probably going to have an easier time of it with shaders. A lot of it is familiarity. I'm not used to playing with shaders. So some people have said, when some people die, oh, it's the shaders that killed you because you didn't see this mob or whatever because of the shaders. Like there was a shadow over the Enderman, something like that. And it's like, if you didn't have shaders on, you would have seen it. But I think that's also just people who don't play with shaders aren't used to it. So when they see somebody else play with shaders, they don't notice things the same way. Yeah, I mean, it looks great, right? And if I was just streaming and I was playing a pack or whatever for my enjoyment or for, just to make it look good or whatever, that's totally fine. I would probably do that. But, I think when you are playing something that's a challenge or something that has some constraints, I think you have to kind of think about it a little bit more. Like, does this affect gameplay or not, right? Is it true to the spirit? Like, I mean, obviously I didn't see the stream where John Bams first did MCHC100 and what his motivation for it was, or all I know is what it says on the website and what the rules and so on are. And the rules say you can use Optifine. It doesn't specifically say anything about shaders or whatever. But what I took from that is that the intention of the challenge is to play vanilla Minecraft without any mods or whatever, right? Just the way it's released from Mojang, and to try and get all the advancements the way that the game was shipped effectively. Now, I have the MCHC100 mod in to track my advancements, but that's the only one. And I feel like this. If somebody watched me play this, and they bought Java Edition and they booted the game up for the first time, nothing would surprise them. This is the game that they would see, and this is what it would look like. And if they picked hardcore, this is what their hearts would look like. This is what their gaming experience would be like. I kind of like the idea of ultra hardcore. I get why it's like it's supposed to be a challenge, and so for people who play hardcore a lot or play hard a lot, regular hardcore might not be that much of a challenge. And so if they want it to be more of a challenge, I see that as a good reason to do ultra hardcore. But I normally play on normal. In fact, I sometimes play on easy. So for me, hard is already a bit of a challenge. And I also felt like it's much easier to do hardcore. Like if somebody was watching me play this and they go, "Oh, what do you play?" I'm playing vanilla hardcore, and they go, "Oh, how do you do that?" Well, you create a new world, and on the type of game you pick hardcore. Like that's all the instructions you need. You don't have to like, oh, there's this command that you have to run and oh, there's one. So that's the other one. This is where we came from. It's not quite straight, but I think we'll have to go around there to get to that city. Let's see if it has a ship. Sorry, I got distracted. Yeah, so I kind of feel like when you're streaming, you also have to take into account that other people are going to watch you play. They're going to want to play it, and you kind of want to have something that's accessible. Ooh, is that another one? That one looks... the whole thing isn't rendering, so I'm not sure which one is bigger. I think this one is closer to our bridge, so I think I'm going to check this one out first. It looks big because it's got... That must be part of it, right? Because that's purple. Oh, that's the ship. Okay. Yeah, there's definitely a ship there. But this is the ship that's far away. Yeah, it might be that the city is actually a little bit further away, and this is just a ship that's close. But I mean, with the ship this far away, if there's no building to... okay, no, there's the building rendering in now. If the ship is far enough away, we can maybe even just pillar up to it. Yeah, I was trying to make sense of what the shape of the end city, but it was actually just the ship that was here. Oh, it's over the void. That's kind of annoying. So one, it's on that island, so I have to get there. I can... Oh, that's not connected. It doesn't really have a very tall one. It has the main shaft and then a shorter one there, it looks like. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is, I'm just trying to think this through. Either way, I'm going to have to pillar to that, bridge to that island. I can bridge to this island. And then connect that bit up. Once I get there... Let me think. Once I get there, I can use the elytra to come back from the ship this way and not worry about it. I'm just trying to think if it's worth bridging or if I should just ender pull across to there and then ender pull across to there, because that's nice and short. Ender pulling across there looks like it's risky. But since this other city is close by, I'm going to just check it out to see if it has a ship. If it has a ship and I can get there more easily, I might just do this one. But I think if not, I'm going to ender pull to that other one. Because what I could see of this end city, it looked smaller, but that could also just be that I didn't get close enough to render the whole thing. Oh, please tell me this is the same island. Yes, okay, good. And they kind of line up a little bit, so... If I don't go to this one, I can just go straight that way. But now that we've gone a little bit further, I'm kind of glad that I left the other entity alone. Because when I come back for the shulkers, I'm definitely going to go that way. I wonder if we use that other portal that's nearby there, if that will then teleport the shulker to the obsidian platform as well. I guess it doesn't matter, it's about the same distance to the main fountain anyway. Oh, is this really just a small one? Can't tell if it's small or if there's stuff behind it. I think this is literally the smallest entity I've ever seen. It's like literally a room and a shaft. Yeah, I'm thinking of what I might do is I'll come back and do the achievement here once I've got the elytra, just to be safe. Make our way up to the top, break open the roof, let them hit us. Oh, I'll go to the top and open the roof and then come back down and let them hit us. Okay, but there isn't going to be a elytra here or anything really. There might be an ender chest at the top, but oh, there's another entity. Let's see. Is that the one that we saw before? No, because the one we saw before was in that direction. So this must be a different one. Yeah, you look forever, you find nothing, and then when you find them, you find 4 in a row. I think that island is separate from this one, huh? If I don't see a ship there, I'm not going to go all the way there. So it looks like a separate island, but I think they're connected. It looks like kind of the same layout as this one, except that the tower is a little bit taller. Yeah, it looks the same. It's just a room with a one tower, which is quite odd. I don't usually see these. And now we have like 2 right next to each other. Okay. So we've got a couple at least for doing the advancement and for getting shulker. Like if we do for some reason run out of all the shulkers in that other one, we have these 2 that we can also use, even though they're a little bit further away. Okay. So what I'm thinking is, since we're at this level now, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna head back there, and then I'm probably gonna take a bathroom break anyway. So hopefully by the time that's all done, you'll be back. So it was roughly the same coordinate as that one. So I think we're just out of render distance. You should see it in the distance over this hill. If I remember correctly. There we go. It's coming into render distance. Okay, so we have to bridge somewhere, so we might as well bridge here. This should... Oh, it looks like I'm going to have to mine a bit first. Oh, block lag. Efficiency 5. So this is fortune, so this shouldn't be slower because of the silk touch. No, it's definitely not the silk touch. I want to be sure to have enough blocks as well, because for some of the staircases you can place blocks to make them easier to traverse. So it's good to have a good stack or two of blocks in your inventory when you go into those things. Okay, so that's 2.5 stacks. I'm going to bridge first, so I want to have at least 3 stacks. So let's do another layer. So it's kind of annoying to have to mine now before we go do this, but I don't want to go in there underprepared. Grabbing some blocks is less annoying than dying, so let's rather do that. I don't like how these endermen are staring at me like I'm gonna die. Quit it! You don't know it's gonna end bad. Once I get over there, I'm gonna turn my render distance down as well, because I don't want any frame skip or anything like that while I'm dealing with those shulkers. Because once you end up in a room with a whole bunch of shulkers, there tends to be too many shulker bullets to deal with. You can't like hit all of them, you have to take some damage. So that should give me enough blocks. And then now I want to kind of bridge underneath the boat, so that in the event that I get to the boat and then need to come down, I can use the elytra and come down. If I fall off, even landing on the bridge isn't gonna really help me, but there is a small chance that I break the dragon's head or something and it falls, and I want it to fall on the bridge rather than into the void. Not that it's a major thing. If it falls into the void, I'll just find another one. There's no real need for the dragon's head. I wonder if this is going to be the right level. Probably widen this as well. How far away are we? Very close. So making this wider is not just to decrease the likelihood that I fall off, it's also to make it more clear which way I'm supposed to go to get back. So I feel it's worth a little bit of extra time to just do this. Might also just put 2 or 3 torches on here to light it up. Oh. Been doing a fair amount of bridging, so now my left pinky is getting a little bit crampy. Luckily, I think after this bridge, we won't need it anymore. Is that sound? Okay. What? Is he angry? I didn't look at him. Come on, hit me. What? What? I kept clicking and it didn't do anything. I'm gonna have to watch that back because I don't remember looking at him. I remember looking up. So we'll have to get straight up here. I guess technically I could pillar, but there's that shulker there. I don't think I can get him from here. I might just be able to circumvent the whole thing. Yeah, I thought so. Oh no, that's actually high enough. Oh no, the aim varies too much from here. Don't think I can hit him reliably. Well, I guess if they hit me, I'll have levitation, so... Oh, so there I got him. No, I'm not gonna move. Might be able to get him from here. Might just take a lot of shots, but... Did I hit the same arrow? Obviously hitting him when he's closed. Oh yeah, if you hit him while he's closed, it doesn't work, okay. Because otherwise I was thinking I could pillar up here and just do it that way, but maybe I'll go through there. Okay, it's midnight. I'm just gonna go for a quick bathroom break. We've got about half an hour left, so I think that'll be enough time to at least try and clear out this tower and get the elytra, and then we can head back to base. So just give me a couple of, like a minute or two, and then I'll be back. thanks for waiting. Should be back now. Luckily I paused it. That would be terrible if I came back and shulkers hit me and I fell to my death or something. Oh, double. Oh wait, if they kill each other, they don't drop anything, right? So I don't want them to kill each other. What are the rules for when they teleport? What? Is this gonna go nowhere? Man, shulker bullets are annoying. Okay, so let's do... no, not like that. We actually want it to be like that. I'm not hearing them. Oh, he's up there. This is going to be annoying because I'm trying to get under a stair and what? There's one outside there that's shooting at me. I think that one. Is he open? No. Oh, there's one over there. If I go up here, I'm gonna go another set. Okay. Are they fighting each other? Now this is going to be problematic because if they knock me out there, should actually be killing them with my sword because that'll give me looting. What? Hi Wildy Cape, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Oop. We're just going to our first end city trying to get an Elytra. I actually want to get all that XP and shulker shells down there, but let's do it this way. Getting back up here is going to be a little bit annoying, but there's just too many shulker shells down here for me to just let them despawn. This one isn't in the main chamber, I don't think. I think he's somewhere else. See, did we get all this down here? I hear him, but I don't see him. He must be on the other side of the wall. Oh, I think it's one of the ones that teleported then. I never go up these things the normal way. I think... trying to get my bearings now. Which way did we come in? Let's just check it. Because I want to end up back. No, you're in the way. The side that the entrance is the side that the... Oh. Okay, so we want to go that way, which is north. So we just go back up, and then we face north, and then we pillar up. Okay, so north is that way. So this is the one we want to go to. Now I guess we can't just go. Yeah, that's where we want to be. Can't just go straight that way because there's still going to be some shulkers here that are going to hit us. But maybe we just take out as many as we can. Now that he knows I'm gunning for him, he doesn't want to... Oh, got him. There's usually only about 2 outside, the rest of them are inside. What? There's a jack-in-a-box. Okay, there we go. I don't even know if we're going to have enough blocks to get there, but okay, let's try it. I'll do the middle. I don't think the ones from the building are going to be shooting at me this far out, because there's one there looking at me, but he's not shooting. So I think we grab the elytra first, and we can come back and clear out the rest of the tower. Would have actually been a good one to do the 50 blocks, because it is actually this main one is much taller than the other ones, and if you come out the top here, there's enough shulkers probably in this area to keep hitting you. But since that area up here is so much higher than this, I might even just get hit by a shulker at the top and then ender pull down. That should also give us the advancement. Yeah, I thought as much. We don't have enough blocks, but should be able to cheat and do that. And just do it this way. There should be another one in here. Whoops. Actually, let me just check if there's another one here, because I don't want it to hit me when I'm going out to the front. Nope, I got the only one. Okay, perfect. Let's go get the elytra and instant health. Well, not that useful, but I'll take the brewing stand anyway. Guess I want to make more than one type of potion. Elytra, that's another advancement. Oh, that's a good chest. Iron boots, yeah, I mean it's got mending, which is nice, but iron isn't great. That's perfect leggings. Not great helmet though. So some emeralds are useful. The iron, beetroot seeds. I don't actually have beetroot seeds, funny enough. Mending, depth strider 3, protection 4. That's some pretty good boots. It's basically only missing feather falling 4. Strangely enough, item frames, I don't have that much space. Okay, because I have purple blocks in my inventory. That's not a problem. I will put diamonds, gold, emeralds, I'll actually put all of this in here because I'll disenchant the ones that I'm not going to use. Sorry, Wildicap. I'm on Java Edition. So I'm playing on PC. I haven't actually needed any of these potions, so I'm gonna put them all away. I'll keep the blocks because I can use those. Put the elytra away as well. Yeah, although it's not home yet, we have to still make it back. I think the worst is over. I don't think we're gonna have problems, but we probably shouldn't count our chickens before they hatch. Can I do this? This is actually kind of silly. I don't really need a dragon's egg, but what else do I have? Slabs. Okay, what else? Let's see if there's any. I think I want to try get that levitation thing while I'm here. It's a nice big open area underneath here, so I'm gonna try and go up to like, what do I need, 50 blocks up there. I think I'll go up there, get the effect, and then just ender pull down into that area. That should give me the advancement. I haven't actually done it that way, so I'm not sure if it works, but... Oh, I'm actually out of blocks. That's tricky. Let's see, how am I gonna... I don't want to break all this purple blocks. This is the wall, right? Yeah. I don't really want to get rid of the wall because that's actually not going to work because I need... Oops. Let's grab all the blocks. Oops, I missed it. Oh well. Just have to get up to here. I think I can do it with what I have left. Oops, already they're making a mess. Don't make a mess. Trying to get in this side. Oh, is he open? Oh. At least with protection I don't really take damage. I think that Shulker's outside, but he's still shooting. I can see his bullets there. Let's see who we can see from here. No point in trying to get them while I'm in there. If I can do it from here. Oh wow, really? I have like no blocks. Instant bricks go really quick. They're shooting at me from another tower. That's probably worth stopping. I think they're just outside. Ah, I see you. I need to leave some at the top, obviously, so that I can still get the levitation effect, but should be able to clear these ones. Don't see them. They must be outside if I see the explosions there. Where's the lowest spot? I guess here. To do this. Okay, more chests. Sharpness 3. Protection 4 and breaking 3 mending. That's perfect leggings. Okay, so now that is the real test. I don't even know if this works, but I'm going to try it, because if I do this, then that's almost all of the advancements done. I didn't check how many shulker shells I have. Shouldn't need too much. So he should be on the side wall somewhere here. There we go. So if he hits me, and I go over to here, before that runs out, and I throw an ender pearl, boom. Done. That does feel a little cheaty, but it worked. So let me just see. Looks like that's everything done except respawning the ender dragon, which we can do easy enough. Let me check. Oh, we got 9 shulker shells, so we can make a couple of shulker boxes. I can always come back for more. There's 10 minutes left of the stream, so I'll probably spend that getting back, just in case something goes wrong. Now I'm trying to remember where we had that portal. I can't remember if it was over here somewhere or if it was further that way. I think it was further that way. Or there's definitely one further to the right. I'll just have a quick check here. The next time I come here, I'll probably forget. But I might not need to come to this one. So the light there is the other end city. I think over there was one. Just have to run around these islands a little bit. I think we have a bridge over there. And now I can't remember if there was a portal here because there was another city off to that side. But I think the portal was on the next island over. We'll find it. Yeah, so there was a short portal there, I think. Let me just check in case it's yeah. We saw the city, but we had to go around, and there wasn't something here, so have to go back. That's the other end city with a portal nearby. This one we didn't go to because there was no ship. I think this is the one with the no ship that's close to the portal. Oh. Yeah, for some reason it registers any change on the y-axis. So it accumulates it and then resets it once you stand on anything. So if you're floating and you throw the ender pearl, when it moves you, it actually counts it as moving you that whole distance. And it doesn't check whether that difference is up or down, so down also works. So technically you can wait until right before it runs out, throw the ender pearl, and then you won't float too high off the ground. But I mean, if you have feather falling, even if only half of the levitation effect is taking you off the ground, you shouldn't take serious damage. So there I laid the torches, which means there should be a quick access portal somewhere on this island, I think. Because if I remember correctly, the bridge is over there, and somewhere here I think is a portal. But I might be confused because these islands start to look the same after a while. I know the portal we came in is in that direction, so I can just keep running that way until I see another portal. Is it up there? Or is it... For some reason I remember the... Yeah, we saw that and then we went around, so that means we might have come from here. Is it there? Yeah. Yeah, this is the one that I lit up, thinking that I would use it to get there. Now I know if we keep going that way, we'll eventually get to the original portal that got us here. But I think for now, I'm just going to do it this way. Oh yeah, see, you're right, it just brings you here. Well, that's fine, that's good enough for now. And then we can... So now the only thing we have left to do in the end is fight the Ender Dragon. Hey Chaos, you made it. You're getting ready for work now. So yeah, just to show you Chaos, I just did the couple of the 4 extra advancements that I was missing in the end after killing the Ender Dragon. I got to go through the gateway, go to the city, get an elytra, and then I did the 50 levitation things. I hate to say it, but my getting that 50 levitation blocks was a little bit less eventful than yours. I cheesed it a little bit. But now we've done everything in the end except fight respawn the Ender Dragon. And now that should be easy because I've added feather falling to my gear, so I've got feather falling 4, and we have an elytra now, so we don't have to worry about all those potions and whatever. If we get knocked up into the sky, we just fly. Yeah, to be fair though, my previous attempt, I didn't even get around to getting hit by a shulker. I just went straight to dying to an enderman, so slight improvement on this one. Some of these I'm gonna... Oh, this Curse of Binding you can't actually take off, so... But some of these I'll keep. Depth Strider Protection, that's good. This one is actually pretty good for iron boots, but it's just iron, so... I'll disenchant all of these. I don't really know what I need this for. I would guess chorus fruit is one of the things you have to eat. I'm actually going to start making my eating chest. So this is going to be my eating chests. I think it's more than a double chest, so let's put one of everything in there for now. Actually, I'll put all of that in there because I won't need it for anything other than that. We have to put a raw potato and a cooked potato, I'm guessing. Carrots are only raw. Oops. I don't know what else. I'll still have to organize it. Bread is something that we'll have to eat. We have plenty of steak. We also have to eat the raw beef. Raw beef, that's a thing. We also need we cook a potato. Yeah, so most of this, I wish there was a way to take enchantments from armor and put it on other armor. Oh, this I can't do much with either. This I can get an iron nugget from, but this I don't think I can get anything from. Now beetroot seeds we didn't have before, so we'll have to grow some of that, because that's also something that you can eat. So I'll just put that there for now. I don't think you can eat pumpkin, but you can eat pumpkin pie. If I have this, yeah, I think that's how that works. Chorus fruit is edible, right? Yes. Okay. I'm going to put it in here not because I still have to eat it, but because I want to make sure that I have all of them accounted for. Let's make some space for that. We need, some of these need... I don't know why I have a cow farm, but I seem to always struggle to have item frames for everything. So this we keep, this we keep. I'm gonna have a bit of a tough time getting... Oh, there's a... Well, that doesn't help because I have sharpness 4. I need another sharpness 4. I don't think you can do anything with that, no. I guess... What are we going to put it there? Yeah, why not? Oh, then we can put these resources where they belong. The elytra we're going to have to enchant, and I think you can't. Yeah, you have to do it with books. You can't do it in a regular enchanting way. So we'll hold on to that. And we're still emerald poor. We still have to trade a bunch. I think I might at some point just go and get a chest full of ender pearls for when I need it. I might actually... Where's this? Why is this always gone? Organizing things always takes like such a long time. But I guess it takes longer if you don't organize it, because then whenever you need something you open every chest twice. I don't know if you do that. Like I always tend to like look in a chest and then I almost always end up looking in the same chest again. And endstone, I don't even know if I want to keep that in its own chest, so for now I'll just put it in here. Oh, and I missed the iron nuggets too. So I think we're going to need like a gear chest, because well, actually probably the thing to do would be to make a shulker box. I wonder if I can merge these two chests yet. No, maybe not. I'll just make 4 shulkers, I think. And then we'll pop, I guess that all the armor stuff can go in there. Except this one. This cursive binding probably isn't such a big deal, because it's like if I die it doesn't matter. But I might want to change my helmet for some reason, so I'm not gonna let that be an issue. I think I'll maybe even put the elytra there, and then I'll kind of rename this to armor. Oh no, I can't American spelling. I have to. Sorry, Nitro, if you're American. It's okay. I had this massive discussion at work over that. I built our entire application, and in the code everything is American spelling, just because it's just easier and consistent, and in code a lot of things has American spelling. And everybody at work gave me tons of flack about it. They're like, but we're not American. I'm like, no, but all the code that we use in the libraries and everything is written with American English. It's just better for it to be consistent. But I keep having to have that argument, so I hold the logic stands, and I'll die on that hill if I have to. So that's it's my argument, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, so that was these 4 that we did. So I don't have. Let me see if I can. I think I had. Did I have it open here? Let me just check. I don't have the overlay, so I can't see it the easy way. I can never find my own thing. Oh, maybe it's because I should refresh it so that I can see that I'm live. 59? Is that right? Okay, yeah. So we're at like 59%. There's still a couple of easy ones we can do. Some of the crossbow ones and taming a horse. I mean, that's just really easy. Diamond hoe, that's easy. I'm trying to get rid of all the risky ones. So I don't know if you did the same thing, Chaos. I think you said you're also doing the same thing. Like, I'm trying to get rid of the risky ones. Anything that's gonna make, like, potentially end my run. So in the end, it's, I guess, fighting the Ender Dragon. It's a risky one, but it's less than it was before. Fighting the Wither isn't risky for me. Like, even Wither skeletons, I don't have problems with Wither skeletons. It just takes a while. Fighting the Wither, I do it under the fountain. Absolutely 0 risk. This bringing the ghast in has some risk, because if you don't do it right and they shoot you, you can take some damage. But for the most part, it's fairly straightforward. A lot of this husbandry ones take long, but there's no risk. You just fly around. I guess getting caught out in the open at night is the only risk that's there, but with a bed that shouldn't be an issue. Zombie doctors, there's no risk involved. Finding all the food, I don't think there's anything that's hard to find. I mean, it's just maybe going to villages, and we've been to the Nether and everything, so I don't think there's any risk involved there. So the main thing that's risky now is rescuing the ghast. Not so much having all the effects. That's tedious but not risky. I mean, you can mess it up and die. The biggest thing, I think, is we have to kill all the mobs and do the raid. I think that's probably the riskiest thing at this point, because the best way to get all the mobs is probably in the raid. So, and I probably think for me, doing the raid is probably the riskiest of all the things. So I've been kind of putting it off, thinking that I'll do the raid twice, the 2 times that I have to do it, not bother with it the rest of the time. But in order to do that, I will need to know that I will need to have this monsters hunted. I have to have everything other than the mobs that are in the raid. So I can be missing evokers, pillagers, ravagers, and what are the ones with the axes? The ones that look like normal villagers with their arms crossed until you get close to them. Whatever, I always forget what they're called. So that's 4 mob types that I can be missing. The Vindicators, yeah. So that means there's another 4 mob types that I have to get before this one is quote unquote done. And I think what's missing here is I think Endermites is one of them, the ones that I'm missing. And the Wither is also one. I haven't killed the Wither yet, so that's 2. That puts me on 19. There should be another 2. I killed Shulkers now. I think I was missing them before. The other 2 is the Guardian and the Elder Guardian. So I have to kill 2 of those. Now I've got a there's a ocean monument. If I go in this direction, if I go just past those glaciers, there's an ocean monument about 50-60 blocks that way. but I've left it untouched because I want to grab one of the Elder. I want to use an Elder Guardian from there for the all potion effects, or all effects. So I want to leave him there and set it up somewhere nearby, like over there on that sand, or if there's another spot closer to the ocean monument on the other side, so I don't have to move the Elder Guardian. The real trick is going to be, because my spawn is right here, so I built right by spawn, and that dirt pillar there is my spawn. So if I set up my whole thing over there on that little island, you'll see that's the ocean monument right there where my crosshairs is. So if I set it up and I bring the shulker here, then I just have to move him from here to there, and then I have everything that I need there. There's a village a little bit further on in that direction, where I blocked in the doors so the villagers are safe, and I'll likely use that to do the raid and get Hero the village. What I haven't found yet is like a pillager outpost or anything that I can force the bad omen effect. So that's another thing that we have to go hunting for. But the bad omen effect lasts so long, it's an hour and 40 minutes or something. So even if the pillager outpost is far away, I'd rather keep the effect long enough to get to the village here and do it here. So far things are looking up. I haven't really encountered anything that's gotten me stuck. But yeah, we're doing good, and I think we're kind of almost back to where we were before, where we mostly safe now. We're geared up. I have access to. I don't have. Before I had like infinite emeralds, which I don't have yet because this guy of mine didn't get. Sorry, this guy. This guy should have the glass trade. Actually, I wonder if I unlock him, I might have it, because between these two guys, you get the infinite. You get, I think this comes down to 3 glass panes per emerald, and I think his trade for glass can go down to 1 emerald for 4 pieces of glass. So that technically you need 1.5 emeralds to get 16 panes of glass, and so obviously that gives you more emeralds back, so then you have a feedback loop here that just gets that done. But he's a little bit hard to train up because I have to buy bookshelves to level him up, because these mending books give such little experience. But what I'll probably do is, like I said, the last thing I have to do in Minecraft here is Zombie Doctor, and I'm gonna just put a zombie behind them, poke open the back, let the zombie turn them all into zombie villagers, and I'll splash potion here and cure these 3, and then I'll splash potion here and cure these 3, and then I should have like really good prices. I should get like 1 emerald prices for everything, and if not, I'll just do it again. So I think what we'll do for the next one is we'll probably look at I might change my mob farm to spawn more creepers, so that I have all the rockets I need, because most of what I have left is exploring type things. I have to find the biomes, I have to find villages to get cats, I have to do all that kind of stuff, and for that I just need rockets really. I don't have enough gunpowder to sustain traveling that far. I've got like 2.5 stacks. Oh, thanks for popping by, Chaos. I appreciate it. I might actually watch the first little bit of it while I'm in bed, if my wife doesn't get annoyed. So, otherwise, I'll catch you on one of the streams that I get during the day. Thanks. I'm done anyway now, so I'm just gonna sign off. No problem. Catch you around, Chaos. Okay. Thanks, Nitro. I'm off for the night as well. That was fairly successful. It took a little bit longer to find it than I had hoped, but we found 4, so I guess I shouldn't complain. Yeah, so I'll think a little bit about what to do. I'll do some AFK fishing in between, and then we'll do either some messing around with the mob farm to make it a little bit more efficient, or otherwise I might start looking at setting up a drowned farm somewhere to get that trident, because that's another thing that we have to prep for. So great. Thanks for watching, guys. And if you want to know when I go live around 9:30 to 10 o'clock my time, which is about just over 3 hours ago from now. But I usually tweet when I start, so if you want to know when I go live, you can either set the notifications on Twitch or on Mixer, or you can follow me on Twitter. The link should be somewhere at the bottom on the Mixer or Twitch profile in the panels, or otherwise on the site existential.live. So hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day or evening, depending on where you are, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.